Hello and welcome to the Kundalini podcast. That was Zen. This is Thou. I'm Vivek Kovekar. This is episode 94. I'm making 93 and 94 back to back because I'm getting ideas. After I made that video, I suddenly came up with a couple of ideas for the next one. So then this episode is going to be about having a release valve for yourself. And let's see the whole process that I'm describing from that perspective of a release valve for your emotions and thoughts, ideas that are of a negative nature. And all these methods may not make sense unless you see the whole picture. And for that, it's very important for me to emphasize this fact, which is the necessity of doing things on a regular basis and on a daily basis. A daily release of steam from a pressure cooker, let's say. Your mind is a pressure cooker with all these thoughts, and you have a daily release. What's the advantage of that versus letting it just accumulate and lead to a burst, outburst? You're not only going to have outbursts, you not only know how to deal with your emotions well, you have techniques to right the wrong and yet deal with the underlying emotion seriously. So for that, I'm going to give the analogy of, let's say, a soccer team or a football team. Let's say you have a coach. Okay, these are college kids and they're playing soccer on the field, or professional athletes, let's say, or whoever. The coach gives you an exercise to work on. Let's say you have to run 10 miles with your team, and that's exhausting. That's pushing you beyond your limits. It's going to make you extremely exhausted, and the results, the payoff, will only happen after about a month of doing that. That will get you in shape, condition your body, train you well enough, your speed, your reflexes, etc. Right? Those get trained only with experience by doing that. Now, let's take a group of 11 players. They're on the team and they have to do this because the coach has asked them to do that. Right, so Monday they do it 10 miles. Exhausted. Goes home, 10 of these people go home, have a beer, relax, show up the next day. Okay, they haven't done any prep work, homework, haven't given themselves a reset. On the first day, it doesn't matter. Now 5 days have gone by, you have had 10 mile runs every day for 5 days, and your body is completely exhausted. You've probably had some excitement, agitation, friction on the field. You have emotional issues to deal with. You have some problems with the coach. On top of that, when you come home, your additional home life burdens start adding up. Right? Now imagine on Friday, that very same player, the one exception, the one player, decides, you know what, I'm going to sleep early, get a lot of rest, a lot of hydration, a lot of vitamins and supplements, meditation, positive affirmations, and work on assessing what I did wrong over the last week. How can I get better? How can I make this a more enjoyable and productive, fruitful process? There is this law of 10,000 hours. Now, some people say it is true, some people say it's not true, whatever. But yes, if you do something for 10,000 hours, the likelihood of you getting better at it gets better. But here's the detail in that. When they talk about practice, it's not just unconscious practice, it's focused, disciplined effort. And also things like prep work, how you keep your mind. You might do some activity, if you're a violin player and putting 10,000 hours in there. You go and do some activity that is not directly related to playing the violin, but makes your mental processes or creative abilities better in some other way. That's the prep work no one asked you to do. You did it because of passion. You did it because of your dedication to that craft, right? So this person, the soccer player, on Friday gets 12 hours of rest. What do the other teammates do? Go out to a bar, drink, party, get drunk. Saturday morning they wake up hungover. Like this person wakes up Saturday late, probably at noon, has got about 12-15 hours of sleep, feeling very fresh, body's fresh. Then he goes to the sauna, goes to whatever is needed for rest and recovery for the muscles. and keeps doing that throughout the weekend. Saturday again, good meal with the family, dealing with other issues, doing something slightly different, relaxing. Okay, gets another 12 hours of sleep on Saturday night. Sunday, wakes up early in the morning, excited about Monday morning's practice. Meditates, sets mindful affirmations, positive intent towards the task. Sends those as your affirmations. Has positive feedback, has a positive visualization of the outcomes the next day. Oh, they are going to be great. This is how I visualize myself walking on the field, hitting this shot, hitting this ball this way, and I'm going to do this. And these are 4 areas that I need to work on. How am I going to make myself better at those 4 things? All of that is inculcated in the mindset. Your mind is already programmed on the next day's activities, prepared for it, and you let go of that. The intention is working on your mind. And that person gets more sleep, more hydration, more rest, relaxation. Muscles are completely relaxed. Maybe got a massage or something, acupuncture. And on Monday, when he shows up on the field, because of these minor details, because he found the release valve, corrected all of the things done to the body, to the mind, to the psyche over that week, all the stresses of that, and transmutes that into a better state, a higher state through relaxation by focused intent and taking it seriously, not just 9 to 5 on Monday to Friday, but also on the weekend. So that person, when he shows up, and now Monday practice is done for the second week, other people are all just recovering from the weekend, haven't added to something that will make it a stepping stone. From my first week, my second week, Monday, will be a stepping stone through my actions. Every day after practice, I did this, to completely remove all the stress from my mind and relax my body. Right? On a daily basis. Now on the weekend, I also did things conducive to the next week's activities and did more relaxation. Complete reset, complete reboot and release through the valve mechanism, which is the same as I mentioned: positive affirmations, mindfulness, positive intent, visualizations of better outcomes, etc. On Monday, this person at the end of the day has already seen improvement, or the body is primed to improve better as a result of the actions taken, and that action on the field is not just left on the field, it is the totality of that person, of me doing an activity and me balancing it, doing an activity, balancing it. There is no accumulation of the stress, of the anxiety. Whereas, let's say the person who just showed up to practice, did that, had a bad mindset, then went and partied all weekend, showing up on Monday is not setting up for making the most out of the previous week. Right there is a difference. And now the graph will go this way, higher for the person who did everything right, and this way, slightly lower or going down for the other people. Okay? 2 weeks go by. Now your body is more stressed, but if you have done it right, like that one person, it gets stronger. Rejuvenation is done. You identified things that need to be corrected. You are okay with being laughed at by your colleagues. Ha, you don't come and party with us. And you take all that and you show up. Like immediately that day, you're not going to get better. But a month later, when people were supposed to have absorbed all that muscle memory through the actions, this person who has taken the efforts to go out of the way, to do something extra, and just corrected the mind, has reaped the most benefit. That's a no-brainer. That goes without saying that that person is going to come out through his own efforts, paying attention to the details, and making it a corrective balancing act every single day, and especially on the weekends. At the end of 4 weeks, this person is going to get the best muscle memory, have the best outcomes, because the visualization is already there. You've taken the negativity out. The person out partying doesn't have time for that. Maybe they have other episodes that were created during the partying, maybe some other brawls, fights, etc. And now that's sapping away their energy. This is what we do to ourselves. This is what we do. We keep loading on anxiety and we seldom get a reset valve. Someday, in that 1 month, let's say the other 10 players, one of them says, you know what, I'm feeling too exhausted now, what do I do? And does go to the spa, does go get a massage, etc. But that's just once or twice. Not with complete intended focus towards that activity, to making something better, to enriching yourself, and making the best out of the practice that you performed on the field. Right? It's the same exact thing with your mind. And this can be applied to everything. This can be modified to every single thing that you do. Now, instead of taking the example of that athlete, let's take the example of somebody going to an office to work. Same thing. You woke up, started with a meditation, cleared your mind, had a mindful approach, took a look at your activities of that day, infused them with positive intent, positive affirmations, have a plan, you're prepared, you're feeling confident, and you approach work. It's going to be a very different outcome for that day for you compared to anybody else who has not done that. Right? It's doing it day to day, seeing the results, taking the feedback, and making everything a stepping stone. Knowing when to relax, knowing when to let go, knowing when to focus your energy, and then only focus on that task. Not being distracted, and not letting just activities of a regular work week sap away energy that you don't replenish through your own actions later on. This is the best way I can explain this. It's a cumulative effect. It's a layering. So, also continuing on that question asked by the person, and I responded in the last video about peeling away layers and not having grasp on reality, etc. It becomes so much better because of these details, because of these reset valves, because the next time nothing can be built up on those traumatic memories. They're not there creating trauma. There might be a memory somewhere vaguely in your mind, but you have put layers and layers of release mechanisms, positive input, taken all the feedback, corrected course within your own self. And so 1 month of work, in your case, leads to the most beneficial, productive outcome for yourself, and you only gain from it. And it becomes a stepping stone further and further. You don't have a letdown, you don't have a breakdown that you can't handle. Doing all of this might still lead to negativity, breakdowns, and other problems, but you have ways of dealing with it. And the impact on yourself and the effect it has is not as harsh. Because, like I do with my phone, I clean files, I delete something. Then I go to the recently deleted folder and delete that as well, as a regular habit. So I never get a storage full message. I have to plan ahead for my photography. I can't get that message. So in my other moments, I make sure that I'm deleting photos regularly and keeping my phone completely clean. So next time I pick up the phone, some great shot is happening. It's there, it's ready for me. And it's the same exact thing with our minds. Remember that and have a release valve mechanism. Please do this for your own sake and you will see the results. Please leave me comments, feedback, questions, like, and please subscribe to this channel if you find it useful. This is Vivek Kovekar signing out. Peace, love, blessings. Be well.